Most people over the age of 72 make at least one of these 5 dangerous mistakes every single morning. Not because they are careless, but because no one ever told them what to watch out for. You wake up, you stretch a little, maybe you sit on the edge of the bed, rub your eyes, and begin your day. It feels like a normal routine. But hidden in those first few steps are habits that quietly harm your heart, your brain, and your balance. I have seen it happen too many times. Mr. Lee was 78, full of life, always laughed during breakfast. But one morning he stood up too quickly after waking. He lost his balance, fell, and broke his hip. It took months to recover, and he was never quite the same again. Grandma Mary used to skip her breakfast to save time. She thought she was being practical, but her energy dropped. Her memory started slipping. Later, we found it was not aging. It was low blood sugar. These are not rare stories. These are everyday moments with quiet consequences. The good news is this: once you know the 5 dangerous mistakes, you can avoid them. You can protect your mind, your body, and your independence. And sometimes all it takes is a small change in the first hour of your day. So please stay with me. I will share not only the science, but also the wisdom that comes from real lives, real regrets, and real triumphs. If you are over 72 or love someone who is, this could be one of the most important videos you watch this year. Let us begin. Aging is a journey that every human being must walk. But how we walk that path makes all the difference. Some people drift into their later years like a leaf caught in the wind, bouncing from doctor visits to medications, accepting weakness and confusion as just old age. Others move forward with quiet strength and purpose, adjusting with care, staying alert, and finding joy in the small things. The difference often lies in the choices made each day, especially in the morning. Mornings are powerful. Science has shown that what we do in the first 60 minutes after waking can shape our entire day, and over time, even our health span. This is especially true after the age of 72, when the body becomes more sensitive, and small mistakes can lead to bigger consequences. Our bones become thinner, our balance becomes more delicate, our blood pressure fluctuates more easily, digestion slows down, sleep patterns change, and yet most people are not told how to adjust their routines to support this new season of life. That is why this message matters so deeply. This is not about being perfect. It is about being aware. It is about respecting the wisdom that comes with age and combining it with what modern science has discovered about the aging body and mind. It is about creating a morning rhythm that protects, not punishes, you. I have had the privilege of sitting with elders in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s. I have listened to their stories, their regrets, their hard-earned wisdom. Some said, "I wish I had known this earlier." Others smiled and said, "I changed just one habit, and I feel like I got 10 years back." These 5 mistakes that I will share with you are not based on fear. They are based on knowledge. When they are not about limiting your life, but about opening the door to more energy, more clarity, and more strength. Whether you are someone who has already begun to feel the aches and fatigue of older age, or someone who feels strong and simply wants to stay that way, this is for you. Because the truth is, aging is inevitable, but suffering is not. With just a few gentle adjustments, mornings can become a time of healing, not harm. A time of grounding, not stress. A time to protect what matters most: your mind, your movement, your independence, and your connection to life itself. So let us move forward together, not in fear, but in wisdom. Let us take these next few minutes to learn what to avoid, what to embrace, and how to start each day in a way that honors your body, your years, and your future. You have already come this far. You have already overcome so much. Now, let us give your mornings the care they deserve. Morning mistake number 1, getting out of bed too quickly. It sounds harmless. You wake up, swing your legs to the side of the bed, and stand up. You have done it thousands of times in your life. But after the age of 72, this one simple act can become dangerous. Let me tell you about Mr. Harold. Harold is 79, a retired railway worker, proud father of 4, and the kind of man who never liked to waste time in bed. Every morning he would wake up and immediately try to get moving. One day as he stood up quickly, a wave of dizziness hit him. The next thing he remembered was waking up on the floor of his bedroom, blood on his forehead, his glasses broken beside him. The doctors told him that what happened was something called orthostatic hypotension, a sudden drop in blood pressure that occurs when a person stands up too quickly after lying down. It is common in older adults because the body's ability to regulate blood pressure weakens with age. The heart and blood vessels respond more slowly, especially in the early morning when the body is still shifting from rest to activity. This fall left Harold with a bruised hip and a shaken sense of independence. What hurt him the most was not the physical pain, it was the feeling of vulnerability. But there is a simple way to prevent this. Experts recommend using the 3-stage rule when getting out of bed. First, when you wake up, stay lying down for a minute. Take a few deep breaths. Allow your heart to catch up with your body. Second, slowly sit up and let your legs dangle over the edge of the bed. Stay seated for another minute. Move your toes and flex your ankles to stimulate circulation. Third, when you feel steady, gently stand up while holding on to something for support. These few extra minutes could save you from a fall, a hospital visit, or even something worse. You see, at this stage in life, it is not about how fast you move. It is about how wisely you move. Harold now follows this simple routine every morning. He says it reminds him to treat his body like an old friend, one that needs kindness, not speed. The takeaway here is clear. Rushing the first steps of your day can lead to regret. But slowing down, even just for 2 or 3 minutes, can give your body the time it needs to adjust and keep you safe, steady, and strong. Morning mistake number 2, skipping water and going straight to tea or coffee. It is a quiet, familiar scene. The sun rises, light spills through the curtains, and the kettle starts to whistle. For many older adults, the first thing that touches their lips each morning is a warm cup of tea or coffee. It brings comfort, warmth, and routine. But what most do not realize is that reaching for caffeine before hydrating can quietly hurt the body, especially after the age of 72. Let me tell you about Grandma Lily. Lily is 82. She lives alone now, ever since her husband passed away. Each morning she boils her tea, opens the window, and begins her day. But she began noticing something troubling. She often felt lightheaded, sluggish, and strangely anxious within an hour of waking. Her hands would tremble slightly, and her stomach felt uneasy. At first, she blamed it on age, but her doctor saw something else. What Lily did not know was that she was starting her day dehydrated, a common and silent issue in older adults. As we age, our sense of thirst becomes less accurate. We may not feel thirsty even when our body needs water. Overnight, during sleep, the body loses moisture through breathing and sweat. When we wake, we are naturally in a state of mild dehydration. If the first thing we drink is tea or coffee, both of which are diuretics, meaning they increase fluid loss, it worsens the problem. Dehydration in the elderly is not just about feeling thirsty. It can affect memory, mood, digestion, and even increase the risk of falls by making blood pressure drop. Once Lily learned this, she changed her habit. Now, before she makes her tea, she drinks a full glass of room temperature water. She places it by her bedside each night, so it is the first thing she reaches for in the morning. She still enjoys her tea, but now it comes after she has given her body what it truly needs: hydration. Scientific studies support this. Just 1 glass of water upon waking can help rehydrate the brain, improve digestion, support kidney function, and stabilize blood pressure. For seniors, this can mean fewer dizzy spells, a better focus, and a gentler start to the day. The takeaway is simple but powerful. Before reaching for your morning coffee or tea, give your body the water it quietly asks for. It may seem like a small act, but it speaks volumes to your health. It tells your body, I am listening, I care. So tomorrow morning, place a glass of water by your bed tonight. Let that be your first step toward a safer, more balanced morning. Morning mistake number 3, skipping breakfast or eating too little. There is an old saying, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Yet many people over the age of 72 either skip it entirely or settle for a few bites of toast or a plain biscuit. It seems harmless. After all, appetite changes with age, and some believe eating less helps maintain weight or avoid discomfort. But skipping breakfast or eating too little can quietly weaken the body and the mind. Let me tell you about Mrs. Joyce. Joyce is 76. She lives with her daughter and 2 grandchildren. She is kind, witty, and always trying to help. For years, Joyce would skip breakfast because she said she just did not feel hungry in the morning. Sometimes she would have only a cup of tea and half a slice of dry toast, but something began to change. She started feeling tired by late morning. Her hands trembled slightly while pouring tea. One day, while holding her grandson's hand during a walk, she suddenly stopped and said, "I feel strange." She was rushed to the clinic. The cause? Low blood sugar. Older adults are more vulnerable to drops in blood sugar, especially after fasting overnight. Without a nourishing breakfast, the body lacks the fuel it needs to function. This can lead to weakness, mood swings, poor concentration, dizziness, and even fainting. Studies show that a balanced breakfast supports brain health, energy levels, and muscle maintenance, all of which become more essential with age. After this episode, Joyce's doctor recommended a new routine: a small bowl of oatmeal with banana slices and a few almonds, or boiled eggs with whole grain toast and a few berries. These meals were not large, but they were balanced, rich in protein, healthy fats, and slow-releasing carbohydrates. Within weeks, Joyce felt steadier, brighter, and more present with her family. It is not about eating a large or heavy meal. It is about giving your body the building blocks it needs, especially after a long night without food. So if you are someone who tends to skip breakfast, please consider this. Your body has worked through the night to repair itself. Your brain has processed memories and dreams. When you wake, they are both asking for fuel, not just to survive, but to thrive. The takeaway is this: begin your day with something gentle but nourishing. It can be warm oatmeal, a smoothie with yogurt and fruit, or even a boiled egg with toast. What matters is that you send a message to your body that says, "I want to care for you today." Joyce now shares breakfast with her grandchildren. She says those quiet morning moments are her favorite part of the day. And perhaps that is the deeper truth. Breakfast is not just food, it is connection, energy, and a small act of self-love. Morning mistake number 4, ignoring morning stiffness and skipping gentle movement. One of the most common things older adults say when they wake up is, "I feel stiff," or "my joints hurt more in the morning." It is understandable. As we age, our joints lose fluid, our muscles become tighter, and our bodies take longer to wake up after a night of rest. But what many people over 72 do wrong is that they ignore this stiffness or try to push through it without preparation. Let me share the story of Mr. Edward. Edward is 81. He was once a teacher who spent his weekends gardening, painting fences, and walking to the market with his wife. But over the past year, he started feeling stiffness in his knees and back every morning. Some days it was hard for him to even bend down to tie his shoes. Instead of addressing it, he would force himself to keep moving. Or worse, he would sit longer, waiting for the pain to go away. Then came the morning he reached down to pick up the newspaper, and something in his lower back gave out. He spent the next 6 weeks in recovery, unable to move without help. His doctor explained what many people over 70 do not hear enough. Morning stiffness is normal, but ignoring it is not. When the body rests overnight, joints become less lubricated and circulation slows. Without gentle movement, the muscles remain tight and the risk of an injury increases, especially if you bend, twist, or lift suddenly. The solution is simple and powerful: 5 to 10 minutes of gentle stretching or mobility exercises every morning. Edward began doing small routines while still in bed: ankle rolls, wrist circles, slow neck stretches. Once he stood up, he spent just 5 minutes doing seated leg lifts, arm swings, and a few slow walks around the house. The result was remarkable. Within a month, his stiffness reduced, and he felt more confident moving through his day. Science supports this. Gentle morning movement increases blood flow, warms up the joints, reduces pain, and improves balance. It also sends a message to the brain: I am awake, I am ready. You do not need fancy equipment or difficult exercises. Even sitting in a chair and slowly raising your arms, turning your head side to side, yisao, or gently lifting your knees can help your body transition from rest to movement with grace. The takeaway is this: movement is medicine, especially in the morning. Ignoring stiffness may seem like a way to save time, but it often leads to discomfort, or worse, injury. Just a few minutes of care can give your body the gift of ease, comfort, and safety. Mr. Edward now says, "I treat my body like an old engine. It just needs a warm-up before the road." And perhaps that is all aging asks of us: to listen, to move gently, and to treat our bodies with the respect they have earned. Morning mistake number 5, starting the day without purpose or gratitude. There is a silence that exists in many homes after the age of 72. The children have grown and moved out. Friends are fewer, routines are quieter, and sometimes the days begin to feel repetitive. One of the most dangerous mistakes, though it is rarely spoken of, is starting the morning without a sense of purpose, reflection, or gratitude. Let me tell you about Margaret. Margaret is 84. She lost her husband 6 years ago, and most mornings since then began in silence. She would wake up, sit on the edge of her bed, and stare at the floor. She felt no urgency, no desire to do anything. Her body still moved, her heart still beat, but inside she felt empty. One day her granddaughter came to visit. The young girl sat beside her and asked, "Grandma, what do you look forward to each day?" Margaret could not answer. That night she wept, not out of sadness, but from a deep longing she had buried. She realized she had stopped waking up with intention. Her days had become habits, not hopes. What many do not know is that a lack of purpose in older age can be just as harmful to health as smoking or obesity. Studies have shown that seniors who live with a sense of purpose experience better sleep, lower rates of depression, improved mobility, and even longer lifespans. Purpose does not need to be grand. It can be small, sacred, and personal. After that day, Margaret made a change. Each morning before leaving her bed, she began whispering 3 things. Something she was grateful for, even something as simple as sunlight on the curtain. Someone she was thinking of, and she would send them a silent blessing. Something she looked forward to, a call, a walk, watering her plants. It took less than 5 minutes, but it shifted everything. Her mornings no longer felt empty, they felt alive. You see, at this stage of life, the heart is still capable of great beauty, but it must be invited to speak. The greatest danger is not falling, illness, or even memory loss. It is waking up without remembering why your life still matters. So if you find yourself moving through your mornings without reflection, ask yourself gently, what do I still love? Whom do I still cherish? What do I still hope to do? Write it down, say it aloud, share it with someone. Even just lighting a candle, writing a short journal entry, or praying for someone can bring your soul back into the day. The takeaway is this: purpose is not something you lose with age. It is something you choose again and again each morning. Margaret now says, "I do not just wake up anymore, I rise with gratitude." And perhaps that is what makes each day sacred. Not the years behind us, but the meaning we carry forward. Let us pause here for just a quiet moment. You have made it this far in the video, and that tells me something about you. It tells me that you care about your health, about your mornings, and perhaps most importantly, about the days still ahead of you. That takes strength. That takes courage. Many people your age, or the age of someone you love, do not give themselves enough credit for simply continuing to try, for continuing to rise day after day, despite the aches, despite the grief, despite the things that have changed. So before we move forward, I would like to ask you something simple, but powerful. Please take a moment to share in the comments below. What part of this video has touched you so far? Which morning mistake felt the most familiar? And most importantly, what small change do you feel ready to make? You may also write just 2 words, still strong. That is our way of standing together, of saying, I am still here, I am still learning, I am still becoming. This space is not only a video, it is a quiet community, a gathering of people who may be thousands of miles apart, but who are walking the same road of aging with dignity, wisdom, and reflection. Perhaps you are watching this video in your kitchen with the soft hum of morning around you. Perhaps You are watching late at night, when the world is quiet and your thoughts are loud. Wherever you are, know this: you are not alone. Others have walked this road before you, and many are walking it beside you now. And together we can share what we have learned, not just to avoid the mistakes of aging, but to embrace the beauty still hidden within each sunrise. So please scroll down. Leave your mark, let someone else see your words and feel less alone. Share a story about your Grandma Lily or your Uncle George. Share a lesson your father once taught you. Or simply type "still strong" as your way of saying, I may be older, but I am not finished. Your voice matters. Your wisdom matters. And if you are watching this for someone else, perhaps a parent, a grandparent, or someone you are caring for, know that your love is seen. What you are doing is sacred. We will continue with the final lesson in just a moment. But for now, thank you for being present. Take a breath. You are doing better than you think. Final morning mistake: leaving words unspoken. The cost of silence. There is one mistake that many people over 72 make, not with their bodies, but with their hearts. It is leaving the most important words unsaid, morning after morning. Words like, I love you, I forgive you, thank you, or even, I miss you. Let me share a story that still lingers with me. Frank was 79, a quiet man, kind but reserved. He spent most of his mornings drinking tea alone, reading the same newspaper he had been reading for years. His son, Daniel, lived just 10 minutes away, but they rarely spoke. Not because of anger, but because of time, habit, and the silence that slowly grows between people who do not say what they feel. Frank had something on his heart. He wanted to tell Daniel that he was proud of him, that he had always admired the way his son raised his own children. But every morning he said to himself, tomorrow, I will call him tomorrow. Then one morning Frank did not wake up. Daniel found the note later, tucked inside a drawer. A few scribbled words that said, I am sorry I did not say more. I love you, son. That is when it hit Daniel. The mornings we take for granted are the very moments we could be using to speak truth, to heal, and to connect. And once they are gone, we cannot reach back and reclaim them. Science tells us that emotional well-being has a powerful effect on longevity. Expressions of love, gratitude, and forgiveness release chemicals in the brain that reduce stress, lower blood pressure, and even strengthen the immune system. But more than that, they restore relationships and give the heart peace. Each morning you wake up, you have a sacred opportunity, not just to care for your body, but to care for your soul and the souls of those around you. So ask yourself gently, is there someone you have not spoken to in a while? Is there something you wish you had said to your daughter, your friend, your late spouse? Is there a memory you are still holding that needs light? Even if the person is no longer here, speaking those words aloud can bring healing. You may write a letter, you may whisper to the wind, you may pick up the phone, but do not let the day begin in silence if your heart is full of unsaid truths. The takeaway is this: do not let love go unspoken. Every sunrise is a chance, not just to stretch your body, but to soften your heart. Frank never got to say those words out loud, but today you can. And perhaps that is the most dangerous morning mistake of all, believing there will always be another chance. As we reach the end of this journey, let us take a moment to reflect. We have talked about the mistakes that many people over 72 make in the morning. Mistakes that quietly affect their health, their relationships, and their peace of mind. And while these mistakes may feel like something we can easily overlook, the truth is they carry consequences. Not only for our bodies, but also for our hearts and minds. But there is something powerful that we must remember. It is never too late to make a change. Aging is a process that cannot be avoided, but it does not have to be a process of decline, of regret, or of missed opportunities. Every morning is a fresh chance, a new beginning that holds the potential for growth, for healing, and for deeper connections. The small changes we make today, the decision to eat a better breakfast, the choice to move our bodies gently, the courage to speak the words we have held inside for too long, can transform not only our own mornings, but the lives of those we love. Our days are not infinite, but the impact we have on others can be. The love we give, the lessons we share, the small moments of care that we extend to ourselves and to others, they have a ripple effect that lasts far beyond our own lives. So as you continue on your journey, know that each morning matters, and each morning can become a choice to live with intention, to care for your body, to embrace your relationships, and to seek peace and purpose. The mistakes we talked about today are not simply things to avoid. They are reminders. Reminders that we are all fragile, that our time is not endless, and that we do not have to wait for some grand moment to make a change. We can begin now, no matter our age. The beauty of life lies in the small things, the quiet moments, the soft words, the gentle movements. They may seem insignificant in the grand scheme of things, but it is these small things that create a life well lived. So I encourage you today to reflect on the mornings you have left. Ask yourself, how will I begin tomorrow? Will it be with intention, with purpose, with love? Your journey is not over. In fact, it is still unfolding in ways you may not even fully understand. There is still so much beauty to discover, so much wisdom to share, and so many small acts of kindness to give. As the days pass, may you be gentle with yourself. May you forgive the mornings you have missed, and may you embrace the ones ahead with a heart full of gratitude and hope. And if there is one thing I hope you take away from this video, it is this: you matter. Your mornings matter. And each new day is a gift. Before we part ways today, I have one simple request. If you found something in this video that touched your heart, or if you feel that these lessons may help someone you love, I ask you to take a moment to act. Sharing is a gift, not just for the person who receives the message, but for you as well. Please like this video if you believe that mornings matter, and that the way we start each day has the power to shape the way we live. Give it a thumbs up if you feel inspired to change, to reflect, or to speak the words you have been holding inside. Leave a comment below. You do not need to write a long essay. A few words are enough. Tell me what part of this video resonated most with you. Was it the lesson about gentle movement, the importance of purpose, or perhaps the reminder to speak our truths while we still can? If you are watching this with someone you care for, share it with them. It may be your neighbor, a friend, a spouse, or a parent. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it today. You never know what someone is going through, or how much a single word of encouragement can change their entire day. It could be a small act, but it could mean everything. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. We are building a community here, one where we learn from one another, share wisdom, and walk through this journey of life together no matter our age. You will not want to miss the upcoming videos, where we dive deeper into the lessons that help us age with grace, health, and emotional strength. Remember, this channel is not just about information, it is about connection. It is about learning from the wisdom of the past and applying it to the present. And if you feel that someone you know could benefit from this kind of content, share this video with them. You never know who might need this reminder today. I leave you with this: we are all in this together. Every small step we take to improve our mornings, our health, and our relationships makes a difference. And by sharing the wisdom we gain, we make the world just a little bit brighter for those around us. Thank you for watching, for caring, and for sharing. I look forward to hearing your thoughts and joining you again soon.